I pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, our President Sheila's here, Anita, Amy, myself, and Bobby Scott is she's helping out, working in the office up there temporary for now, and she's gonna be doing the minutes because Lacey is gone tonight. All right, approval of the agenda. Any additions, subtractions?
Yes. Number 4, approval of November 2025 minutes.
Oh,
My bad.
So,
we're gonna make a correction,
yeah, we all need to
20
say 2024.
2024, thank you,
No problem.
on both of those. Other than that, do we have anything else?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, they said, yeah, 25. Alright, so, just do okay for approval, all say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Financial report. Let's see what they're doing there. I guess, yeah, we should do that. Alright, should do that, perfect. Alright, let's back up one step. We're gonna do item number 4. Approval of the November 2024 meeting minutes from November 6th and our special meeting that we had on November 25th. Can I get a motion to approve those?
I motion to approve them.
I'll second.
Second. Any correspondence on them? Any? Alright, do roll call on that one? Alright, motion there, second by Anita. Just public, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. I'll check these off so I get it in order. Alright, now back to number 5, financial report. Lacey have that in there. Any questions on the financial reports or comments?
I just have a comment.
Yes.
The financial report is put together by the clerk, but she takes her input from the treasurer.
Okay.
So these were done as of November 30th. This is the last time she updated the report. Everything in here came from the previous treasurer. I've made no updates to this at this time, so.
Okay. So since we're gonna do that, we get a motion to approve the financial report.
I make the motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Probably do a roll call on that one.
Oh, you want me to do that?
Yeah, that was official.
All right, Mr. Trosper,
Yes.
Ms. Casana,
Yes.
Ms. Crew.
So maybe I'm out of order here. There were some things here I didn't understand, so I'm not sure if we're address it here, and I feel like a dum-dum because some of these things I do not understand what they are for. So I don't know.
No, you're fine. So the financial report is, yeah, very much. So basically it shows a breakdown of where they were at prior to us taking office, and there, it shows what they paid out, what the balances are.
Right.
What they have left on their contract, so that part of it.
And I do get that, that's the gist of it.
Yep.
But what I'm not getting, for example, is like on line, they're all 101,000. This one is 573.101 state PPP reimbursement. So
So there
I
is
don't know what that means, and then it says 7,000 amended budget, then it says the activity is 77,000, and then we have the percentage budget used, so I'm confused on that whole line. Am I asking, is my verbiage correct here?
What
on the
line are you
question?
on? Right here.
It's first page,
Yeah, so that's,
Okay.
that's revenues coming in. So
okay,
they were only expecting 7,000 to come in. And there
Gotcha.
was 77,000 from the Metro Act, whatever, that Lacey deals with that, whatever it came in as.
So it's
So
a
like
plus.
the top line, yes, it's all
Okay.
under, it's estimated revenue coming in, and then money going out is at the second, where the break is down below it. So that's why those are actually good to be higher.
right, okay,
than-
I need an explanation.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, so we were on roll call, you
Ms.
read,
Gerba
Yes.
and Ms. Snow.
Yes.
motion passed. Okay, so payment of the bills. We had last minute where Lacey was not coming, so I have a few of them, checks that are going out, and then there was a lot of checks that were wrote prior to us taking office that was before the last meeting. So, take this. So, from, on your check report, anything that was after 11/6, when they had their last meeting, because she categorized these all together instead of breaking them down. So basically, the only thing that we are in question is anything after 11/6, the checks that are on there for the bills that were being paid. So I believe it starts out at check number 21942, starts at Steamson Power, and goes through the current date. So we have, Steamsman, Midwest Energy Power, Appraisals Plus, White Pigeon Firemen's Association, Spectrum Printers, Keystone Cooperative, McQueen Emergency, McQueen, what is that?
What is
do you know?
that?
That's like our fire gear,
Okay,
the actual boots, pants, helmets and stuff like that. That's the
Right.
distributor out of, our salesman from County too.
okay. It was built for Geek Genius, Indiana Power, LRS, Nicolette Kirshner, which I'm not positive what that, there's no explanation on that one. Accident
She does the
Fund,
payroll, Jason.
okay.
She does the payroll.
Postmaster, Comcast, Keystone Cooperative again, Appraisals Plus, Cintas, Midwest Energy, and John Deere Financial.
What is the John Deere Financial for?
That was a bill, Vince, that your mower was only covered under a 6-month warranty, so they had.
We had I can't think what it was called now. Anyway, it went out, the clutch went
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
And we were told it was under warranty.
Yeah.
Warranty was only 6 months, not a
Mm.
year. So we had to get replaced. And we run everything through John Deere Financial.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so, any other questions on
gonna have Jason about Nicolette Kirschner for $5,500. There's no explanation as to if that's a contract, how long it goes for.
Okay. So we can table that one. So that would be check number 21,952 until we can get a breakdown if that's a yearly payment or what that is, and then go through there. So
There's another one, Appraisals Plus Group for $6,200.
that one, I know where that bill is. That is, draw a blank here, Kevin Harris does all of our appraisals and stuff for
Okay.
Township. That's, yeah, I know that one. I've seen that one.
Okay.
So that's the other one. If I knew more about the other one, I would.
Okay, and then there's another Appraisals Plus on the second page for $73.60. That's
Yep.
also,
Hey, Nita, I know it's not public comment, I'm just going by what the village does.
Yep.
But the Nicolette Kirschner, that's a yearly contract is what we do with the village with her, and ours is the same price.
So-
That's just,
Yeah, no, so what I'm gonna do is, I will make a motion to pay the bills from after 11/6, and with the bill, for Nicolette Kirschner, when Lacey does that, it'll be approved pending her, showing that it is a yearly contract, that way it doesn't hold it up, and she
yeah, I
can
just.
still pay that.
Thank you.
And that way it's not holding up for another month on her if that is your contract.
normally we would do our contract start of the fiscal year, so that's us kind of have it come due this,
Cause your guys is
at the
different
start
than
of
ours,
the
like ours is April
calendar year.
1st through April 1st, and yours is June or July 1st.
July.
July 1st, yeah.
I'd rather work on a calendar year myself. so
Yeah,
that's-
it's way easier,
Mm-hmm.
but with taxes and all that, so again, I will make a motion to pay from after 11/6, starting at check number 21,942 through the current, and questioning on Nicolette's just to make sure that is a year contract. So I'm making that motion to pay those. Get a second.
I'll second.
Do a roll call vote on that?
Mr. Trosper,
Yes.
Ms. Casada,
Yes.
Ms. Rupa, Ms. Snook. Yes.
Motion carried to pay the bills. Okay. All right, so we are in the public comment state. I asked that comments be made to the supervisor. We're not gonna set a time limit as of the 3 minutes like some of the places have to do. We wanna be very transparent. We'll answer questions. If we do not have an answer that we can give you at today's meeting, we will be more than happy to try to find something and get it back to you as quickly as possible. To do that, we just ask everybody to respect, everybody as equal people here, because we're all sitting here, we're voted by you guys to put us in here. We wanna try to do the right thing for everybody, answer any questions that are brought upon, and we'll go from there. So the floor is open for public comment.
Question, on the planning commission, so it used to be like a quarterly, the first Monday of every quarter.
Okay,
So there's a lot of different dates in there, so are those just the new dates going forward now for the meetings? So there'd be January, April, July, and October, and that was always the first Monday. It's in the schedule of like regular meetings,
It's like the last handout.
so just curious, cause I hadn't heard anything from Chuck.
First Monday, right?
It's the first, yeah, so I think it's like January 7th, maybe, is the
Yep.
first Monday.
Okay, yeah.
And
that's
then
not
it'd be
on here.
it's a quarterly thing unless
Quarterly.
it's a special meeting.
Okay.
So I didn't know if it was changed or,
so that'll be down next, so we'll have to address that on line 17, but thank you. We'll,
That's what we're saying, so.
I don't know, check if they set that up in October. That the next meeting
Because
would be
that's which time.
first Monday.
Yes, unless it's necessary to have another
Yes,
special
it's a
meeting.
special
Board,
meeting for a special
orderly,
event.
it's a
Yeah.
meeting,
I forgot.
it's orderly, we had it.
You're fine, I have it with me.
Okay.
So it
Yeah.
should, this will need to be changed to January,
And I think that's the only one that.
April,
Weird.
and then July.
Okay. So that the seventh is the same day as our meeting, if we did the same day.
And this will be the
Okay.
first Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get that when we get to line 17.
Thank you.
Thank you, so, any more with that? We'll address that.
No, that was.
Yep.
Just make sure, because we missed that January meeting.
Right, yep. Paige?
At your appointments, does anybody know what building authority is and what they do?
We are working through trying to figure out what all of them, there were some that there was no people appointed to. Is that, you have that one?
Yeah, I asked that question last year, nobody could give me an answer, so I didn't know if you guys knew what it was either.
I got that. Building authority was created back when we started breaking ground for this building. We had to have 3 members, and we had to, by law, you have to pass that through the building authority. So that's all it really is.
Okay.
And they never meet. It's just, you gotta have by law. you
That's why I
have
said
3
it was
people.
on there, and we just trying to find out which one, we
Okay.
couldn't find any meetings on it,
Yeah,
so.
there never was, other than the first one.
Okay, thanks, Vince.
So we do need one more person, because right now we only have 2.
Yeah, what,
They don't ever meet.
we're trying to,
Well, we have to have it.
Yeah.
oh, there's some fall facts over there. Okay. So let's think here, any other public comment?
What is the IPMC Board of Appeals? There's nobody on that.
I don't, so we have our other, I believe that actually goes up above. If I remember correct, that goes one above, like our Board of Appeals here,
Okay. Well,
if I looked that up right.
okay.
And they all expired, so.
Yeah. So we'll have to see if we gotta do that. So like I said, we are taking applications for doing that. Jeff Wagner, you dreamed up.
Oh, he
Oh,
go first. He had his hand up too.
Okay.
First off, this is really awesome, having all this information
It
here.
is.
So my first question is this gonna be put online so that other people can access it, or so that we can view it online later?
The agenda or the minutes?
All this stuff, all this packet.
I mean, I guess we could. It wouldn't be, we'd have to get, we're still in the stages of with our website of getting things uploaded, downloaded, so he's gonna be down here next week to set it up, cause everything all the passwords got froze up, and so we're trying to redo all that stuff there, and he's gonna come down and get us on there. It wouldn't take nothing, I don't think, to download that packet on there. So, yeah,
It would be nice if there's links there for this information, because it's
Yeah.
really nice, you know, if you can scan it, just put a PDF format, throw it online, put a link out there or something.
yeah.
Second question, and I apologize if it's already been talked about at the very end, regular board meetings. So does this look like you're gonna move it to 6 PM?
Yes.
Start next board meeting?
Yeah, and we'll just, once we get it put down, but yeah, so we wanted to try to make it a little more user-friendly for everybody, and, especially with some of us that work as well, try to rush and make it up here on time to,
Okay. Excellent. That's what I had. Thank you.
Or Jeff?
I was just gonna say, kind of for everybody here, whoever's watching, hearing you guys, Santa will be here December 14th, 5 to 7 PM.
Okay.
Bring kids, grandkids, we have adults show up that just wanna eat anyways, we have food, every kid,
Wow,
Oh, good to know, thank you.
Yeah, we missed out on that.
So,
really, we do.
What
if
are you
would-
having?
It's, nothing super special, but all kinds of cookies, chili, and hot dogs.
We'll
kids
try,
come
we'll get it put on the sign as well.
Okay.
So that way there, it's,
And thank you for getting the food. Our last food collection is this Saturday, because the morning of the 14th, we get the names from the school, people sign up. We've got 33 families this year.
Wow.
About 107 people together that are gonna come and get a food basket, turkey, bread, milk, eggs, OJ, apples, oranges. It's ridiculous. So that'll be in the morning.
Cool.
And then we want just like the Santa thing. Every kid gets a toy out of a Santa bag. They get a game of their choice, board game, and then they get all the food. And then we've got 30 bicycles ranging from here to here that you can put your name. They'll each have a bucket associated with a number, and you can put in, I want bike number 3, and we draw at the end of the night, and they get a free bicycle.
Awesome.
And
that
it
is
don't
all-
cost, nobody that shows up, it doesn't cost anything to do it. You just show up and hog out on food and cookies.
And that's all done through fundraising or?
Yes, through the
so-
Firemen's Association.
Wow.
So it's not in,
That's what our golf outing and stuff like that is what we use this money for. Thank you.
all right, anybody else, public comment? All right, we will close that section of public comment. Any correspondence from board members on that?
That would have come from the clerk.
The clerk and her part of it,
No.
so she's not here, so we'll pass that. Zoning officers report, there was nothing on, that he put on there, I had no, we got, look at you. No zoning complaints in there, we did just get one today. I guess there's another homeless shelter that just popped up on Waller Road, out on the end of it, so that'll be passed on to our zoning administrator and see what can be done. It's been, complaints have been filed over, he's got all documents from years past where it's been going on, and I guess it's popped back up again, so Jeff, I guess you guys in the fire department, if there's anything that you guys,
We haven't had major issues, but you know, coming to this time of the year, they're living, I guess it's like 4 or 5 homeless, 4 or 5 tent homeless encampment out there, and they're gonna get real tricky on how they're heating.
yeah.
They're not gonna
Hey,
do
there's
it
no
right.
public bathrooms out there, water or any of
So-
that stuff, so.
And I know, and I've heard this from other people that went to the ambulance committee meetings, that some of these ones in Sturgis, Three Rivers, that they're booby trapping, sharpening little wooden pegs and shoving them in the ground for when the police and first responders come, you're gonna step on it hurt yourself, so. We
Well,
just
they said-
talked about it last night at our training,
Yeah.
about,
And they claimed out there that they're discharging firearms in random times and that, so.
oh, that makes you feel warm.
And so they. yeah,
That's
they-
the end of all of them, like back in?
Like way back in there.
Oh, way
Yeah,
back
that's
in
what
there.
I've been told.
Okay.
What's the name of the road again?
Wallow Road,
It's right out by Grass.
Wallowa,
Walla Walla.
right there, Grass Lake, goes back in on the east side of Grass Lake all the way back in.
Yeah.
Alright, so zoning is taken care of. Planning commission report, there's no report for that. Sewer report, what's that? Oh, sorry. Or I guess, yeah, Susan, I didn't realize you
It's
were
the same,
here.
whatever that January 6th will be the next meeting at first Monday.
Yep, then we'll have a report after that, yep,
Thursday.
yep.
And where do you meet at?
Here.
Here,
Yep,
Oh,
yep,
okay,
6 o'clock.
okay.
Somebody's supposed to post it. I don't know.
yep. Okay, so sewer report, he did not, there was nothing posted on that, and I was at the last meeting that was out there, and it was basically just business as usual. Cemetery report, Vince?
Yeah, because of Mother Nature, I think we're finished with leaf pickup. I'm not sure if the village is still picking up leaves or not, but I think we're essentially done. Looks like we're gonna get snow from now on out. Did get all the snow stakes in. The Morris plot, for those of you that don't know, where Mrs. Gray's mausoleum is, to the east of that, the Morris family bought 40 graves there. And so it's been all plotted off. The engineers came down, plotted off. I put metal holes in the ground. You might have seen stakes in the ground. So that's all completed, and it should be marked on our maps. We should have new maps coming in if you don't have them already. Porta pot should be removed in the next day or two. And then the last thing is, after Christmas, I'll probably start taking the mowers up one by one, get them serviced, so ready for spring.
Okay. Thank you. Ambulance report, Amy.
We met, a couple weeks back, and I told him that I would be representing the township. He contacted me this morning to verify my email address and everything. He's gonna be sending us an updated, more exact report than the one I gave you. The contract for the ambulance is upon us, and we're working with the other townships and villages for our new contract, which it expires in April, and it's a 2-year contract where the White Pigeon Township, it's basically, I must have given you the dollar amount, because I don't have it, the dollar amount on it.
It was going up, cause what they're gonna do, I know they are assessing the number of growth in our community, so the bills will be assessed by that, and I believe it showed it was, 29, and it was
Yeah.
projected to go up to like 34.
Somewhere in
Somewhere
there,
there,
that's
so
for
in-
2 years, and that's for the
Yeah.
total cost of running 2 ambulances full-time in St. Joe County. It's,
Are we still gonna retain an ambulance here in the station?
They're still gonna be renting space out here. They're, I talked to a couple of guys out there that, I haven't caught the supervisor up here yet to find out what totally, they're technically stationed here, but they're never, like, as soon as the call goes out, like, they no more got in, and they had to run down to the in-between because the ambulance was out, so,
Okay.
but from what he has told us, that they have more staff on hand, so they're supposed to have 2 full-time ambulances in St. Joe County, along with
Yeah.
branches, the
right.
backup, but we at the back branch up the same
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
But they
And
said that this shift here is supposed to be like a 15-hour shift or a 9-hour shift. The 24-hour shifts, they sleep at Mendon. But we have, supposed to have 2 fully staffed ambulances at all times. And of course, Steve Frisbee, is heading to Lansing, so that was his last meeting. So we have to talk to the other guy. And the report that they gave us was based off our population from 2020, which has changed since then, so that's why they said that they're gonna sit down and narrow it down. But right now, the paper that Steve showed us to run a full ambulance, the 2 ambulances, staff, you're talking insurance, gas, medical, everything is about $500,000. And we don't know where we're gonna be at 2 months from now, or a year from now. But the way it's set up is, this is what we're gonna pay, and if by chance the ambulance doesn't meet our standards, then we can either take away or somehow on that part too.
They're supposed to have, with Steve Wolf, when I talked to him
Summary, yeah.
briefly about that, he said that they're supposed to have where we'll have a little bit more control over if they don't meet it, there's gonna be a little more repercussion to them to try to get them to make sure they meet their standards. 'Cause that's our number one goal, is to have, ambulance where they're there on time, and I think, Jeff, they've been getting quite a bit better recently.
Yeah, they have, really good, it's just sometimes they do run in, I wish I had an instance, like one day last week, they had a call in Constantine, priority 1, which is license sirens, and not even less than 5 minutes later, they had a priority 3 in the village here, and then it was just, sometimes they just do get that ridiculous, and we're coming in that time of year where
Right,
just drive from here to Mobile could take you 30 minutes.
yep.
I have a question, Amy. So our current contract is 3 years?
I think that's what I
Or is
wrote
it-
down.
It's still a 2 years, so
It
it was
it's on his
30,000.
paper.
So it's 30,000 for a 3-year contract, and it's gone to
That's
35,000 for a 2-year contract?
It's per year though, yeah. Per
Yeah,
year.
per year, yeah, per year.
And they're estimating fuel costs, I think fuel costs are 39 cents a gallon more than what they are, and then just the number, I think we went up in the township, it was like 239 people that we increased, and once you do the 2023 population, it might go up or down a little bit, and I know, 'cause you guys are probably the same thing with that new apartment coming in, when you,
Yeah.
if you put in another, say, 50 to 100 people, it's gonna raise the cost of that one a little bit as well.
It all depends though, because will that be up and running by the time the contract is
They're saying
signed?
by May.
See, where you might miss it.
Yeah. Well, I think it said on that sheet that, they're gonna use 2023 numbers. So it'd be actually a year behind, so it'll help out for a little bit, but,
I'm sure we're still gonna see an increase though, so.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's hard. But like he said, between the insurance and then, he's even having a hard time finding insurance, for the ambulance insurance itself. And then, insurance for his employees. They're narrowing that down, so, because you have to provide health insurance and dental insurance, and then you cross to the ambulance, and then the supplies to keep the ambulance loaded, so, it never ends.
Right, thanks, Amy. Office coordinator, report, there's nothing on that. Fire administration board, that meets the 12th, 17th. So we'll have, on next meetings, we'll have a report on that. Okay, so board and appointments. So we do have some open spots on a few of our boards. We do have a interest packet out there if anybody is interested in serving on a board. I know what do we have, the planning commission, we have one open spot. Construction board goes over there. The IPMC Board of Appeals, we gotta find out if there's anything special on that, but we're gonna be taking spots for there. And then building authority, we will have to post one more person for the building authority. The construction board of appeals, it doesn't show a expiration date of any of those. What goes the last ones? Right, or do we have any?
Sanitation.
There's an empty, so, okay, so the fire administration board, we have an opening on, I was looking wrong page or so. The sanitary, so I will be on that one.
Which one?
The sanitary,
Okay.
and then I believe Mike Zander, and I gotta find out from Jim. Okay, his is renewed. I thought Jim's expired in 2024.
Oh, it expires the end of this month.
Okay, so we'll have to find out, make sure
Yeah.
he's still on it. And then zoning board of appeals,
So Susan's expires the end of this month.
yep, Susan, are you staying on the board of appeals?
As long as I don't have to chair or be secretary.
Okay. So we do have one open spot for that as well.
You
I
have two.
like the board.
Or,
just
well,
like
two, yeah, one for the
Robert's rules of
alternative,
order.
alternate and an open spot. So we do have a few open spots for some boards, if anybody wants to, come up. The pay is not super great, I believe it's, what is the meeting, $100 a meeting? So, I mean, to come in there and give back to your community and have a little input, it's, it's one of the jobs behind, it's kind of hidden behind closed doors, but it's something that has to be done, and we thank all the people that have done it for years, and anybody that wants to join in and help out, we'd greatly appreciate that. All right, Township meeting dates. We're gonna change the township plan into quarterly. So, yeah, we can address those, and then, the township board meetings, are scheduled, and we are changing those to 6 p.m. And then the fire administration board is staying the same, fine.
That's the one I had to change January, July, is that the one, or was it the planning board?
The planning board.
This needs to be
Yep,
January.
yep, that needs to be quarterly.
So
So
Jason, can
January.
I
Yeah.
just, sorry, like on the planning commission, normally it was up to the chairperson to set the time. So if the time's gonna change from 5 to 6.
Well, we were leaving, it
then
was at
Chuck
5.
needs to know, is all.
Okay,
I mean, that's how it was, how it was, the chair set the meeting time.
All meetings used to start at 7, and then last year, everybody all of a sudden changed to 5 or 5:30 in the village and the township. So the planning commission decided they would start at 5:30, but Jason will be on the planning commission.
Okay, because usually it was the chairman that did that, so if Chuck changed it, that's all, I just wanna make sure what
Okay.
time it was all.
yep.
I hate to be an hour late.
Yeah, so I mean, they were, when we talked about it, it was discussed to go at 6 o'clock.
When we had that last meeting?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
So-
Yes, I didn't have that.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine,
Those usually aren't ones that run like super late in the night, but I mean, be able to get out soon, I mean, especially with the weather and stuff, I totally, so,
So January, April, July,
in October,
and October.
should be 6, 7, 7, 6. Okay, so 6 o'clock.
all right, so we all good on that, so we probably should get a motion to approve the township meetings and dates for 2025 with, changing the township board to quarterly instead of monthly, or every other month.
The township planning board.
The township planning
So
board, yes.
it's quarterly.
Yep. Those are the only changes on that,
Jason,
yes.
if you're gonna change the township meeting dates, any of them, for the rest of the year, remainder, you have to change that by resolution only.
Right, those should all still be the same. Lacey had those out because of the holidays and that,
Okay,
so those should all still be the same the first Tuesday of the month.
right,
Yep,
another
so-
time, if you're gonna change the time for any remaining.
The
I
time,
I can't recall if we did it by calendar year, if we did it by the first of the year,
You did it by calendar year,
calendar year, okay,
because last
then
year,
you should be fine,
December, you
Yeah.
guys had made the
Yeah.
motion to change
Okay.
it.
yep,
okay.
okay, so we need a motion to accept that.
I make a motion to accept it?
I'll second that,
Mr. Prosper,
yes.
Ms. Casada,
Yes.
Ms. Gupta,
Yes.
Ms. Snook.
Yes.
Motion passed. Okay, any other business to come in front of the board?
Did you make a motion on number 16?
That was just, we did not make any changes to that, so
Okay.
we just make it public information that, we've got open seats on that board.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss it.
Yep. Yeah, we had nobody to add to that part of it, so. Other business to come before the board.
Nothing from me?
Sheila?
No.
Amy?
No.
Myself, nothing. Appreciate everybody coming out, and I guess that I would make a motion to adjourn at 5:39.
Second that motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.